Hey guys, Cliff, Trail Grid Pro. Super excited to be back with you. So we've got the Tacoma again, and we're gonna expand on the Alpine lineup. So today, we're gonna do a general walkthrough of the Alpine 1080p night vision dash cam, and then also Alpine's super sweet front camera. And both of those items are plug and play with any of Trail Grid Pro's Alpine head unit bundles. So for starters, what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through the dash cam. So we're gonna get here into the vehicle. All right, we're here in the Tacoma, and as you can see up here, here's the Alpine dash cam. You know, in the place where you would expect a dash cam to be. It has double-sided tape on the other side of the dash cam, which is what you use to attach it to the windshield of your Tacoma. It fits perfectly behind the rear view mirror right here, so it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. And what we're going to do today is just show you real quick, just a general overview of how you would install this. So again, our dash cam from Alpine, we make it plug and play with our bundles for constant power. So what that means is that it will literally be on at all times. So if your vehicle is off and your vehicle gets bumped, it will record what's going on in front. Obviously, when your vehicle is on, it'll record everything that's going on in front, and if you use the back camera, of what's going on behind you. So for starters, what we do is we mount it up here, okay? Now, you can notice this wire right here. This is literally everything. This carries everything, power, ground, everything that this dash cam needs, video feed from the dash cam DVR recorder here. And what we did is simply ran this wire up into the headliner console, tucking it under the headliner all the way across. And then we come here to the A-pillar. We're just tucking the wire down here across the A-pillar. Be ginger here because this is an airbag. So you're basically going to come all the way across to here. So where this plastic from the A-pillar meets the weather stripping, all you're going to be doing is pulling out the weather stripping just like that and routing your wire from the dash cam, again, all the way down, pulling out the weather stripping all the way down until you hit the kick panel right down here. Now, this weather stripping, when you're done, it goes back in place super easy, just like that. It's now just like it was before I removed it. So you're removing that all the way down to the kick panel. You're just gonna remove the kick panel. The kick panel has a little dial in the back that you just unscrew and then the kick panel will come out. You're also gonna have to remove this down right here, your door sill panel. Just pop that up. You can hide all the excess wiring from the dash cam right behind here. You'll want to do that because there's limited space behind the head unit. So all the extra slack fits perfectly behind the kick panel right here. And then any additional slack that you need to get to the back of the radio with the connector is just routed underneath the steering column to back behind the radio. And we're going to show you an overlay right here of how simple the connections are for this dash cam to make it work, the video feed work, and be plug and play for power, ground, and accessory. It's super clean, makes the install super easy. Now, this kit also comes with a rear camera, and you can use that rear camera in a variety of ways. Some people will use that rear camera actually as an in-cabin camera. So you can mount it up on the glass as well and just get a constant view of what's going on inside the vehicle. From a theft perspective, if someone breaks into your vehicle, you're gonna have a video feed of them doing whatever they're doing in your vehicle the entire time. It can be used obviously on the back of the vehicle. So if you want a rear dash cam recording at all times, you can run it to the back of the vehicle, mount the dash cam, and do it that way. So there is a front and rear cam. We've opted just to use the front cam in our rigs, but it also comes with a rear camera that integrates with the dash cam as well. Okay, so in our Tacoma Alpine head unit installation video, we walked through some of the features of the dash cam. So we're gonna cut to that clip right here, show you how it works once it's installed so that you can see how sweet it is. So another piece of setup that we want to do is we just want to activate the dash cam so the head unit knows that there's a dash cam connected. So we'll go into function and then dash cam, and let's toggle that on. And then there's a setup process here that you can go through, but boom, that's your dash cam view right there. So you can see your dash cam view right on the head unit, which is amazing. And then the other cool thing, what we're going to do is now it's going to show on the home screen. You see it there, dash cam? So once you have the dash cam fully set up, you can actually click into the home of the dash cam here. So it'll say it'll stop recording. So we're essentially going into the brain of the dash cam where we can click into settings, all right here, camera settings, record settings, road safety settings that we can all go into, but also we can go into the memory card. Now, we don't have any settings here, we don't have any recordings here, but they would live here if you had, again, we just installed this, so they would live here if you had recordings, where you could view your recordings all on your dash cam. It has a file list of continuous recording here. If there was an incident, it would be in there. So let's go into some of the, oh, actually there are some here. So let's go ahead and click into here. So here's a recording from earlier of, again, it's just the shop while we were shooting these videos, but it's great. You got the recordings here that you can get all on the screen. You can just go back here. Here's the file list. Again, for us, it's gonna be all the same. Here's just another shot of, again, and that's the audio right there. Here is the recording from earlier. There's Courtney walking in to the office. She's waving. Hey, Courtney. That's not live. That's from earlier. And so pretty cool. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the Alpine HDR multi-view front camera, which is applicable for any Tacoma, 4Runner, or Tundra. Obviously, we're talking about Tacomas today. And the Alpine front camera comes with obviously the camera and also a super sweet mount. And the mount has double-sided tape as well, which is super easy for mounting. And it also comes with 4 screws that if you want to, you can use those to mount the mount to anywhere on the vehicle. But I've found that actually the double-sided tape is so sticky that it just works as is. So we've been testing it like that on our Tacomas, 4Runner, and Tundra, and so far so good. Just the tape works. So that's as this is right now on this Tacoma. We have the front camera mounted right here, all right? Now, this is a TRD Sport, so this actually has an aftermarket TRD Pro grill. So this is obviously what it would be like if you had an aftermarket TRD Pro grill or a TRD Pro. But the same rings true for mounting if you have the actual Toyota logo. There's a perfect spot right underneath the logo to mount the camera. And if we come in here real tight, right underneath here, this is the mount right here. It's literally stuck underneath this little section, underneath the Toyota logo right here. And this camera is held in with the mount, and you can actually pivot the camera. It moves within the mount, which is super cool. And you can change your view if you want to be more like higher view or lower view. You can move that however you want, which is great. Now, as far as installation, it's super easy. So you just mount your camera right here. Now, there is a section of the wire harness for the camera that you'll need at least a 15-30 seconds hole in your grill. So whether you find a location where you can just simply put the wire through an existing hole in the grill, or if you need to drill it, again, 15-30 seconds hole to get a part of the wire harness through. Not the whole harness is that thick, but just a part of it. So you're essentially just pulling the wire through, okay? And then we always tend to route a lot of things down obviously the driver's side, but you can also route it down the passenger side of the engine bay. And essentially what you're doing is you're just tucking it to the side of the engine bay. And what you're going for, despite which side you decided to go down, is the grommet. There's a grommet here on the passenger side. It's this right here where you can cut a hole, which actually we have right here. You can see it. There's a hole that's cut right here where this wire is going through, okay? You can do this on the passenger side or the driver side. It's your choice on which side of the vehicle you want to go down. Now, to make this hole, I tend to think something like a box cutter or just a nice thin knife that you can use here to make the hole. Now, take it slow because there is a main wire harness right here and you don't want to cut anything in there. So just take it slow, cutting your hole, and then you're just going to be passing your wire through the grommet. And just like a pro tip when cutting your hole, use a plus or an X sign. That's going to give you, honestly, the easiest time pulling it through, but also it tends to fold on itself after you've pushed the wire through, which keeps any moisture or anything like that from getting inside the cabin. So after you've passed your wire through the firewall grommet, whether you go passenger side or driver side, obviously your next goal is to get the wire up behind the head unit. If you're driver side, again, you're just passing the wire underneath the steering column, back to behind the head unit, and then just the opposite if you're coming from the passenger side. Again, just fishing it using a wire fish, something like that, to get it behind the head unit. Now we'll just show an overlay here of once you've passed the wire to behind the head unit, it's literally a one-click installation with the Alpine bundles, whether you get the 7-inch, the 9-inch, or the 11-inch. It's a one-click install to have a super integrated front camera on the front of your Tacoma, which is viewable in multiple views. And we'll just show you a quick snippet of video from our Tacoma Alpine head unit installation video, where we show just a quick overview of how the front camera works on your Toyota Tacoma with your Alpine head unit bundle. We put on the vehicle, so boom, that's our rear camera right there. That's the factory rear camera that we can hit with the touch of a button. There's our front camera right there. Again, at a touch of a button here on the head unit, you can toggle between rear camera and front camera, which is awesome. That front camera view is beautiful. You can remove the grids there in the settings, but it's phenomenal. That looks great. All right, guys, so we've hit the super sweet Alpine 1080p dash cam, which is plug and play with our Alpine head unit bundles from Trail Grid Pro. We've walked through the front camera, which is an HDR, super sweet front camera from Alpine. Now you also have an option, if you're a Tacoma guy or gal, to get a Alpine rear camera. So in this example, now Casey hasn't put this yet on his Tacoma, but if you have a bed rack and then maybe a tire rack on the back and it's covering your factory rear camera, Alpine has a super sweet HDR rear camera that takes your rear camera image to the next level. It's super clear, it's very vivid, and much improved over the factory camera image, and it integrates and is plug and play just like the front camera with your Alpine head unit bundle from Trail Grid Pro. All right, guys, well, that wraps this up for today. Just wanted to walk through some accessories that you should definitely consider for your Tacoma. If you've picked up one of our super sweet Alpine head unit bundles, you can pick these up in the Trail Grid Pro shop at www.trailgridpro.com. And as always, guys, have a blast out there.